Welcome back, everyone. We have saw finally the dump that I've been talking about for a couple weeks. Now, last video I said that we were very likely to retest and go higher, but we needed to retest. We didn't retest, we just dumped. And that 12K level, I said 12.3, but it hit 12K and it just immediately had this very bearish engulfing candlestick. And that was that Wednesday dip I had been talking about in Coach's Corner. Now, what we're going to do is look at today what the heck happened in the market and what you should expect. And then we're going to jump into one of the trades that I talked about a couple weeks ago that is at an absolute firebomb and still is going regardless of this dump. Let's get started.
Fat candle, fat candle, huge fat candle on a bull market. Fat candle, fat candle.
We're going to see multi-X gains again.
Welcome back, everyone. So, what happened with Bitcoin? Everyone's asked me, Coach, what the hell happened? Well, it's pretty obvious to me that we came and retested that level and we've been stuck in this range. And what I mean by a range is we've been going up and down in this level for quite some time. Now, that doesn't mean it's bearish, okay? I remember I have told you guys that I was short-term bearish. That didn't change at all. I was still short-term bearish because we needed to retest, meaning we needed to close above, tap this level, and then go higher. We just barely closed above, and this next candle on Wednesday just dropped the market severely. Now, what are we looking for now? What levels could this potentially come to? Well, another thing that I noticed is not really a head and shoulders, but it looks kind of like a head and shoulders pattern formed here, right there, and right there. So it could have been that, and you know, memes could play out in terms of that might have been the reason why. I don't really think that is why though. But when you saw that candle, I'm sure you felt like this guy. Unfortunately, it's always a hard thing to deal with when you don't expect it. But that's what I was trying to get everyone ready for. A correction will eventually come because I knew that we can only go up so much before we have to retrace and come back down. We see that I still think this level is going to come into play. This 10.65, 10.68, whatever you want to call it, close enough. It's going to come down to this Kijin. I'm going to show you what gave me an indication. And yesterday, I'm sorry, I was so busy, I didn't have a chance to make a video. But let's look at what actually happened. Here we saw that we had this nice tap off this level. Again, the rule of 5 generally means that you tap a level 5 times and you either go one way or the other. This one's kind of weird because it was 4 and then went. And this is our first and our second. Now, what will happen if we close below this level right here at 11.33? We're very likely to come and tap lower levels that I've been talking about for 2 weeks. Where are those levels? Straight up 10,850, 10,670, and that actually has gone up. So this is very likely to come to this level. What I expect to happen here is if we lose this, only if we lose it, we could close higher and that would turn into a hammer off support, which is right here. If that happens, we're going to probably come back towards this level. If we hammer off support and close that way. We do have 16 hours, so that can change a lot from now until the end of the day, but that's what I'm looking for, daily closes. So some people might say, Coach, you said you were bullish, but only on the daily closes. I don't trade on short time frames because they will whip you out, meaning they will show you one thing and they will change faster on you. So the bigger candles, like trading, like using big blocks as a kid when you're playing Lego. The really hard Lego pieces that are for 10-year-olds are different than the little kids. So you want to keep it for little kids, you go the high time frame. A lot more chance that you're going to stick the Legos together and be correct than if you have a huge Lego piece from 10-year-olds, okay? So what happens if we break low and we close below this level? We come down to this level right here. Now, what happens if we don't hold it? There's the next level I've been talking about, this 10.33. Now, why I'm talking about that level is because we've tapped it once, twice, 3 times, and we couldn't break it. We actually tapped it many times over here. But in the past, this has been a level of supreme resistance or support. Mostly resistance, though. Now we never came back. We sliced right through it and never retested. We have to retest on Bitcoin for us to see what's coming next. This is what I'm trying to get across. This is why it's so important. But the real key level is right here, right at 10,770, 10,850. I think, well, if we lose this level right up here, we're going to come back down and we're going to test that level, which is healthy for the market, by the way. It's nothing that you should be freaked out about. As I've said before, making higher lows, that would be higher than this low. If we do wick, though, all the way down to here, it will not surprise me if we do. Okay? Now, it's very possible that we only go to this level. And why 10,500 is because of this one right here. So it's very possible we come down to 10,516 or maybe just above 10,518 and make a higher low. All this is healthy in the market, nothing to freak out about. This is why I was telling you guys to prepare. This is why I was tethered with a lot of my stack before this actually happened. Because I had this feeling that we're very likely to drop at some point, and I was just a day early saying we might get bullish, and I should have kept my bias. Something that happens when you see certain things. But I wasn't overly bullish. Now what we're looking for is a close above this level at 11,875, 11,890. And if it closes above there, we're going to retest this level and we're going to go towards 12.5, potentially only 12.3. This level we're going to look at and probably reject it the first time. I think these levels will come into play in the future, but not right now. I was just looking at, wow, we've broken this level. Maybe we can go higher. And that was shut down pretty quickly. Right, so that's what you're looking for Bitcoin. Ethereum. Same thing. I expected it to go up to this level at $486. It got there very, very quickly. Coach's Corner again, we talked about that. And when we were all, looking at the market super green on Monday and Tuesday, we kind of looked like this. And I really like feeling like that. But I also realize, and I tell my wife all the time, if I'm too excited about the market, bust me down, girl. Tell me I'm too excited. Get me out of the market. My wife knows that about me. She knows when I get excited, generally that's not a good thing. And either I need to get out of the market or get in the market. One or the other. And she's been my rock for that. So thank you, honey. Now, we see that this level also needs to hold. There's the Tenkin right there. There's the support right there. It's very likely that it could support. But we also have this other level right down here. If we do break that level and come down here, I think we'll go all the way down to $358 again, because we have this flat Kijin and because for such a long time we've been far away from it. And generally this red line or the Kijin Sin pulls everything like a magnet back down to tap it and then go higher. So all of these things are completely natural and normal. They're not to freak out about. Is why I made the video a couple weeks ago talking about the CME, talking about the BLX and why the markets do this and how much they normally correct. We haven't really corrected that much, so don't freak out. Nothing to worry about. Watch Litecoin. Make sure if Litecoin bounces the Kijin, see how I said it gets far away and pulls it back. If Litecoin bounces this area and finally breaks out, if we see it finally do this breakout that I was talking about, where it comes out here, it retests the top, and then it goes higher. That's our kind of indication that Bitcoin's going to go on its next run. Litecoin usually gives it that lead. Ethereum does for the short term, as we saw, but generally Litecoin, if it gets bullish, leads Bitcoin in the past. Not a guarantee, but it's something that is to keep your eyes on. Now, why did all this stuff happen? Let's ask our correspondent.
Yeah, I've had a team working on this over the past few weeks, and what we've come up with can be reduced to two fundamental concepts. One, people are not wearing enough hats. Two, matter is energy.
He's absolutely right. So DXY, we looked at it and look what happened. We had bullish days of DXY 3 days in a row. So very likely when we have bullish DXY starting to come back a little bit, we see that very likely the markets turn around. Which markets didn't though, and why was I not worried at all is the question that you guys all want to know. So let me tell you the answer. The answer is simply this. We've been holding down from this 21-day EMA all the way down from basically up here in May before the huge crash happened and stuff, right? So we did have the big crash in April, but that didn't really affect anything, right? It actually caused the dollar to get stronger. But then when we had all the printing and stuff started, that's when we started to see this downward trend. Now we're still in a downward trend. We're still making lower lows, as we can see, 1 lower low, 2 lower lows, 3 lower lows, and it's trying to make a higher high, but it has to get all the way up to this level at 93.60, and it's being held by this 21-day EMA for many months. Let's see if we can break it. But what else do you look for to see if the markets are going to turn really, or is it just kind of? We look at the DJI, we see it's bullish. We look at the SPX, again, all-time high. I have to actually move this higher because it keeps going higher. What does that mean? It means that I'm not bearish on the markets of the whole. This is just a normal correction that should happen in crypto, and it may have been started off with a little bit of a bit-hum FUD, which was not really something that was to worry about. Looking at a couple of our trades, they've been affected, of course. We flew out of this level. We came back and retested it as support now, and we have basically 3 levels of support all at once. We have number 1, the Kijinsen, number 2, our actual support, number 3, our 21-day EMA. So there's a lot of strength in this level right here, and this is why you shouldn't worry, because those 3 levels, someone asked me, are you still in IoTeX? I said, absolutely. So, well, what happened? I said, well, it took a little bit of profit as it goes up, right? Our first level was 105, I believe, or 107. We took a little bit of profit, 20%, and then dropped back down. So what did we do? We bought more. I bought my 20% back at cheaper. Great. Awesome. Am I worried what will happen? No. I still have my stop loss way down here, and I'm not really too concerned. And that's just my personal thing that I do, right? So I have my stop down at 69 where it was before, and I'm not going to change that until there's a reason to actually do so. Nexo, this is an interesting one. It came all the way back, smashed through many targets, went all the way to 1600 sats, almost got to our 1700 level, and then it basically crashed right back down. So we've made a lot of profit on this trade already, 50% out, and as it dropped, it actually hit another one of my levels under here, so it took a little 25% more. I'm going to see how it reacts today. Let's just delete this quickly so you can see it. I'm going to see how it reacts today to see if this level holds. If it doesn't, I'll just be out. Remember, we got in way down here. Huge profit, no worries at all, never stress about it. But I think if the market does what I'm expecting to reverse at this level and actually close on Bitcoin and make a hammer candle off that resistance, or that support, sorry, then we're okay. All right, I looked at Band. Band looks really strong, and if Bitcoin literally didn't have this problem, it has it had an inverse head and shoulders that very likely was starting to play out, and then Bitcoin started to crash, came back down to this level, and let's see how it reacts. I want to see, do we actually break that level and come back down? If we do, we'll get out of this trade. We took profit all the way up here already, and let's wait and see what happens. Again, we don't know for sure, but we can guess. BQX, it's lost its level here, so we got out of this trade. I have a bag for a long-term hold that I'll hold on to for a while, and if it goes a little bit lower than the cloud, if it breaks through and comes on this side of the cloud, I will get out at 1180 or so, right around down here. So that's where I'd be looking to exit it. SXP, we stop lost, unfortunately. This came down with the market. And no matter how good the news was, it doesn't matter. We're making lower lows, and if we have to look at this on a smaller time frame, we've gone through the cloud into the bottom. So this is technically on a low time frame bearish, and we have to keep our eyes on SXP as well. That's the market, and this is how most people feel today because they looked at it. But don't worry. We're going to be fine. Nothing to stress out about, nothing to worry about. Everything just happens for a reason, and it's because it's healthy. We need corrective movements in the market.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
But last week, or about 10 days ago or so, I made a video and I was talking about trade. Trade was actually on a downtrend at that time. I believe it was the 27th, and we were actually at 60 cents. Fast forward a few days, and we have gone up all the way 200%. So if you guys got into trade, good job. You know what trade does? Trade is basically Uniswap but it actually turns it in from a casino to an actual trading platform where you can put stop losses and you can put, sell at gain and limit orders and timed orders and stuff. So this makes a huge difference. It takes the gambling aspect out of trading on Uniswap. But the ETH gas fees, this is how the gas fees are making all of us feel. They suck. I hope Ethereum gets its crap together, but 2.0, we're pretty sure it's not anywhere close. So just make sure, guys, that you're playing this market properly. You're not overly bullish. You look at both sides of the coin, and when the technical analysis tells us to get out of something, don't be that person who gets married to your coin. Your coin doesn't matter. Put your stop loss, put your gains, put them in, and don't touch them. The most important piece of trading is capital preservation. So if you guys stay into a coin because you like it, you will be the Shrek person crying in the corner like this person. I don't want any of you to feel like that. All right, that's it, everybody. So today we looked at a few different things. Number one, Trade is coming out with their platform next week. It turns Uniswap into a non-casino-ish game where you can actually trade some of the assets that you like on there that maybe aren't meme coins. Number two, the market is objective, okay? It doesn't care about feelings. It doesn't care about emotions. Use risk management. Don't be the person who messages me in the morning and says I got wrecked. I don't want to hear that. And I don't want to hear that not because I don't want you to tell me it. I don't want you to hear that because you guys have this video right here that will literally tell you how to do risk management properly. So please practice that. Number three, the market objectively has been telling me for so much time that we were going to have a dump, and we finally did. Whether we actually dump harder, that depends on the daily close. So you must watch the daily and see where does it go. Does it close? Does it not close? This is really important. So watch for those things, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a special video that will be focusing on something going on at Binance and how I've connected some of the dots. I'll see you guys then. Have a good one, everybody.
Fat middle, fat middle, huge fat middle. On a bull market, fat middle, fat middle.
We're gonna see multi-X gains.